So since my last video, I have continued to work on my DBI project and have gotten the lesson planning portion of this project done. So as I discussed in my previous video, I am working with a kindergarten student with issues with attention on some decomposition math problems. I will be working with him to increase his understanding of decomposition when it applies, especially to word problems. And we will be working with word problems with number sentences and number buns. Since my last video, I have been able to work with this student more and have been able to see him in the math setting. So the class has continued to work on decomposition and has moved past this topic, but this student is struggling because he's behind, and it's definitely making me see the importance of this content for his ability to succeed in this class. So we will be working on this together to make sure that he catches up with his classmates so he can move on to the next grade, since this has been identified as a problem that may potentially cause him to be held back because he is definitely struggling in mathematics. So I have been talking with my mentor teacher about where his struggles may lay, and we have identified that it's mainly attention based. And so I have identified some things that have helped me in lesson planning and how I'm going to move through the lessons with him. I have been using the text, The Inclusive Classroom Strategies for Effective Differentiated Instruction. So many things are identified in this textbook regarding students with attention problems. And oftentimes with students with attention problems, they need stronger teaching that is more attention grabbing. So monotone voices will not do it. It needs to be an interactive lesson where they can talk with you and things grab their attention to where they want to pay attention. So while I'm teaching, I want it to be in a comfortable setting, and I have been building my relationship with this student where he wants to work with me, and I have noticed he does not fully grasp yet that we are going to be working on this together, but he has been calling me over more often to assist him in math, which makes me happy that he is relying on me for that, and I think that will work for my benefit to be able to help him. So I want to make sure that he is comfortable with me and feels like he can work with me, and I'm going to work on making sure that my lesson is attention grabbing and not boring for him, because otherwise he won't pay attention. Another thing that students with attention problems need is effective motivators. For example, from my personal experience, I am a student with ADHD, and when I was first working on trying to find effective things for me when I was younger to want to study, my parents they would bribe me. For example, I was learning to read. I did not want to read. They would have a reward basket to where if I read X number of books, I could get something from this basket. Now, we will not be using that in the classroom setting just because I don't think it is the most beneficial for the student, and that it will always work because they're doing it to seek the reward, not because they want improvement. And also, my mentor teacher is not a fan of giving students rewards like that. She instead wants to build a strong relationship that's built on respect, where the students do things because they want their teachers to be happy and proud of them and to give them attention. So the motivators that we will be using to keep him on task is things like him being able to come sit by me when he does his work. He wants to be able to do that. He wants to be able to read to me. That's a big deal for the students in my mentor teachers' classrooms. They really like sitting next to you and working and then being able to read you their stories. And then giving him the ability to be the line leader for the day. He wants to be able to do stuff like that. So this way I am giving him rewards without them being where he is building a reliance on the rewards in order to pay attention. Another thing the text mentioned is that students with attention issues work well when they can visually see something. So during my lesson, I will be using the model lead teach approach to instruction, and we will be using number cubes or counting blocks to work through these problems. So for example, I do not have number cubes or counting cubes. So I will be demonstrating to y'all with my coasters. They're just as effective. So for example, a problem would be there are 3 frogs sitting on a lily pad and 2 jump off. How many are left? So for example, when I am modeling this for him, I will go, there are 3 frogs on the lily pad. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. 2 frogs jump off. So here the 2 frogs go. How many are left? 1. And we will be identifying those 2. I will be identifying that to him. And then we will move on to the lead phase where I read the problem to him. And then I ask him, okay, so how many frogs are there? And he and I are going to lay out the 3 frogs together. I'm going to say, okay, how many jumped off? We're going to take the 2 away together. And then we will show that there's 1 left. When we find these problems or find these numbers, we will be entering them into a number sentence and a number bun so that he can then visually see it. And that will hopefully help him form a better grasp. I will also explain to my student that if he does not have access to counting blocks during a worksheet or a quiz during class, that he can still visually represent them on paper. So for example, I will read the problem. There are 5 cookies at the store, 3 are eaten. How many are left? And we will draw out, I hope y'all can see this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 3 are eaten. How many are left? And it leaves us with 2. So I just want to teach him these things while using visual representations because I feel that they do help and are highly effective with students of all learning abilities. I think that visually representing something, especially math, is more effective than them having to stack numbers on top of each other, subtract on their fingers. If they can visually see it like this, I truly believe they will understand it at a deeper level. So during my lesson, we are going to work through about 5 problems, but if he needs extra practice, I will certainly make some more problems for him. And this way he can feel comfortable with this material before we go on to the next step, which is eventually testing it. I do truly believe that this student is capable of understanding this. He's a very bright kid. He just has trouble paying attention. And I can completely sympathize with him on that. I've been there. And something like math and then reading, you just have to find your groove. You have to find your method. And my mentor teacher does not regularly use counting materials such as these. So perhaps when I bring these to him, he will be able to see it and understand it and be able to keep that information in his head for future use. I'm excited to start working with him on this, to start testing and to start teaching him, just because I love working with him. He's a super sweet kid and I do not like seeing him struggle, and the longer I wait, it feels like the longer he's going to get behind, and I really want to catch him up as fast as possible because this is his 2nd time repeating kindergarten and I want it to be his last time repeating kindergarten. So I will continue to make progress on this and keep my channel updated. So thank you for watching.